Right now, as you are watching this, a dangerous storm system is building over northern Australia, and if you are in Darwin or Cairns tonight, you have less than 3 hours before it hits. But here is the thing most people do not realise. While the north is bracing for savage thunderstorms, parts of southern Australia are experiencing temperatures that have not been seen in over a decade. Tonight, I am going to walk you through every single major city in this country, minute by minute, so you know exactly when the storms start, when they peak, and when they clear. And if you stick around until the 5-minute mark, I will reveal which city is about to experience the most dramatic temperature drop in Australia tonight, a swing so extreme it will shock you. But first, drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from. I want to make sure your area gets covered, and I will respond with specific updates for your location. Now, let me give you the number that is making meteorologists nervous tonight. Sydney just recorded 28 degrees today. That is 4 degrees above the historical average for the 7th of February. 4 degrees might not sound like much, but in climate terms, that is enormous. It signals a mild heat wave influence pushing into the east coast, and it is affecting millions of people right now. Let us start with Sydney, because what is happening there tonight sets the stage for everything else along the east coast. As of right now, temperatures are sliding from that 28-degree peak down to around 22 to 23 degrees by the time full darkness hits. The sky is partly cloudy. You will catch glimpses of stars between drifting patches of cloud, and the chance of rain is practically zero. But here is what you need to watch. Wind gusts are hitting 22 kilometres per hour coming from the south and southwest, and humidity is sitting at a sticky 79%. So even though your thermometer says 22, your body is feeling something closer to 25 or 26. If you are heading down to Bondi or along the harbour foreshore tonight, throw a light jacket in your bag. You will thank me later. Sunset hit at 7:56 this evening, so Sydney is already well into darkness. 13 hours and 34 minutes of daylight today, classic midsummer. Bottom line, cracking conditions for a harbourside dinner at Darling Harbour or a twilight walk along the coast. Now, do not skip ahead, because what is happening in Melbourne right now is the complete opposite of what most people expect. Melbourne, the city famous for giving you 4 seasons in one day, is actually putting on its best summer face tonight. 26 degrees today, dropping to a beautiful 19 degrees overnight. High pressure is firmly parked over the region at 1,009 hectopascals, which means settled weather, minimal cloud, and virtually zero chance of rain. The southerly breeze is blowing at 19 kilometres per hour, just enough to keep things fresh. If you are in Melbourne tonight, this is genuinely one of the best summer evenings this city can produce. A stroll along the Yarra, dinner on Lygon Street, an outdoor music gig. Do not waste it, because Melbourne-esque mood can change in a heartbeat. Here is where things get serious, and do not miss this next section, because it could save you from getting absolutely drenched tonight. Brisbane. The so-called Sunshine State capital is sitting in the middle of a subtropical storm zone right now. Today's temperatures range between 28 and 31 degrees, with overnight lows around 22. But temperature is not the story here. Brisbane gets hammered with over 20 rainy days in February alone. 172.3 millimetres of total rainfall on average. That is roughly double what Sydney gets in the same period. Tonight, thunderstorms are building. These are not gentle showers. When Brisbane storms fire up, they fire up hard. Heavy rain bucketing down, lightning cracking across the sky, thunder rattling windows, and sometimes hail thrown in for good measure. If you have got plans at South Bank or along the river tonight, check the Bureau of Meteorology radar before you leave the house. Keep an umbrella within arm's reach. These storms roll in fast and clear off just as quickly, but in that window you will get absolutely drenched. Now, I promised you the most dramatic temperature drop in Australia tonight. Stay with me. We are getting to it at the 5-minute mark. And trust me, when I reveal the numbers, you will not believe a city this close to the tropics can get that cold overnight. But first, let me take you across the continent to Perth, because what is happening over there right now is a completely different world entirely. Perth, the most isolated capital city on the planet, sitting on the shores of the Indian Ocean. February here is hot and bone dry. Daytime temperatures regularly punch above 30 degrees and occasionally scream past 35 or even 40 when the hot easterlies blow in off the desert. But tonight, temperatures are dropping to around 18 to 22 degrees. Here is the stunning part. Perth's total average rainfall for the entire month of February is only 8 to 15 millimetres. You can count the rainy days on one hand. Tonight, the chance of rain is practically zero. The sky will be crystal clear. The tail end of the famous Fremantle Doctor, that reliable sea breeze off the Indian Ocean, is still keeping things comfortable. If you are near Cottesloe Beach tonight, you are about to witness one of the most spectacular sunsets in the country as the sun drops straight into the Indian Ocean. Adelaide, your turn. And this is where things get fascinating because Adelaide has one of the biggest day-to-night temperature swings of any major Australian city. Today hit 28 to 30 degrees. But by 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, you are looking at 17 to 20 degrees. That is a 10 to 13 degree drop in just a few hours. Adelaide sits close to the arid interior, so there is not enough moisture in the air to trap the heat once the sun disappears. Average February rainfall is only 13 to 20 millimetres, and tonight the chance of rain is essentially zero. Clear skies, dry as a bone. Grab a jacket on the way out though, because 17 degrees with dry air and a breeze can feel properly nippy. All right, 5-minute mark. Here is the reveal I promised you. The most extreme temperature drop in Australia tonight belongs to Canberra. During the day, the nation's capital hits 28 to 32 degrees, but tonight the mercury is plummeting to somewhere between 13 and 17 degrees. That is a swing of up to 15 degrees in a matter of hours. And here is the twist. If you are in the suburbs or on the outskirts of Canberra tonight, it gets even colder. Temperature inversions occur on calm nights. Cold air, being denser, sinks into the valleys, driving temperatures even lower than the city centre. Canberra sits inland at 580 metres above sea level, surrounded by hills and eucalyptus bushland, and that altitude combined with the distance from the coast creates conditions that would shock anyone visiting from the tropics. You will want a proper jacket tonight, not just a light layer, but we are not done yet, and the next city might surprise you the most. Do not miss what is coming. Hobart, Australia's most southerly capital. And right now, while Darwin is sweltering at 27 degrees in the middle of the night, Hobart is sitting at just 11 to 14 degrees. That is a 16-degree difference between two Australian capital cities on the same night. February is supposed to be peak summer down here, yet daytime temperatures only reach 21 to 24 degrees, a good 5 to 10 degrees cooler than the mainland capitals. Tonight, you absolutely need to rug up. A decent jumper or proper jacket is essential, not optional. The westerly breeze is carrying cool air off the Tasman Sea, and occasionally the influence of weather systems tracking up from the Southern Ocean, even from Antarctic waters, makes itself felt. And if anyone has the idea of heading up Mount Wellington tonight, brace yourself. Up on the summit at 1,271 metres, temperatures could be as low as 3 to 5 degrees. That is near freezing in the middle of an Australian summer. Now, here is where I need you to pay close attention because the next two cities are in a genuine severe weather zone right now. Darwin, the tropical capital perched on the Timor Sea. If Brisbane felt hot and muggy, Darwin takes that and turns it up to 11. Temperatures barely budge between day and night during February. 30 to 33 degrees during the day, and overnight it only drops to 25 to 27. Let that sink in. It is still 25 to 27 degrees in the middle of the night. Combine that with humidity levels that routinely sit between 80 and 95%, and it feels like living in a steam room around the clock. But temperature is not the real danger tonight. Severe thunderstorms are expected. We are talking constant lightning, rain that comes down like someone has tipped a bucket over your head, savage wind gusts, and rainfall totals that can hit 50 to 100 millimetres in just a couple of hours. Flash flooding can happen terrifyingly quickly. Do not drive through floodwater. Do not shelter under tall trees if there is lightning. And absolutely do not go swimming. February is peak season for box jellyfish in Darwin-esque waters. An evening dip could be genuinely life-threatening, and Cairns' gateway to the Great Barrier Reef is in exactly the same boat. Sitting at roughly the same latitude as Darwin, Cairns is hot and steamy with temperatures hovering around 26 to 28 degrees all evening. Rainfall here is enormous, roughly 13 rainy days in February with totals that can exceed 300 millimetres. That makes Cairns one of the wettest spots in the entire country right now. Tonight, expect plenty of cloud cover with on and off showers throughout the evening. The humidity is absolutely stifling. Ocean temperatures are a bath, like 29 to 30 degrees, but same as Darwin, this is stinger season. Stay out of the water. Before I wrap up, one more spot you need to know about, the Gold Coast. If you are on holiday down there right now, tonight is warm and humid, 22 to 27 degrees with a gentle sea breeze carrying that unmistakable salty tang. There is a chance of afternoon and evening showers, but the storms here tend to be shorter and less intense than what Brisbane or Darwin cop. Still brilliant weather for enjoying the nightlife along Surfers Paradise or Broadbeach. And finally, I saved the most beautiful forecast in all of Australia for last, Alice Springs. the Outback town sitting right in the dead center of the continent. February here is brutally hot, average daytime temperatures around 35 degrees, with the mercury capable of blasting past 40. But here is the magic of the desert. Once the sun drops, the temperature falls away remarkably quickly to about 22 to 25 degrees, and it keeps falling. The day-to-night swing can be a staggering 15 to 20 degrees. What makes tonight in Alice Springs truly special is what is overhead. Because there is virtually no light pollution, the sky tonight will be crystal clear with millions upon millions of stars on show, the Milky Way blazing in an unbroken arc from horizon to horizon. It is the kind of sight people in the big cities almost never get to see. If you are out there tonight, step outside, look up, it will knock your socks off. So here is the full picture across this massive continent tonight, Saturday the 7th of February 2026. Australia, with a landmass roughly the size of all of Europe, is showing off its incredible climate diversity in a single evening. Darwin and Cairns battling tropical heat with savage thunderstorms, Hobart cool enough to need a proper jacket, Perth and Adelaide basking under clear, dry skies, Brisbane and the Gold Coast watching the storm clouds nervously, Sydney warmer than usual, Melbourne enjoying a picture-perfect summer evening, Canberra cooling off rapidly, and Alice Springs gazing up at a desert sky absolutely packed with stars. The temperature difference between Darwin and Hobart tonight is a staggering 16 degrees. That is Australia for you. Remember, this country spans 3 main time zones. When Sydney is well into the evening at 9, it is only 6 in Perth and the sun is still up. Worth remembering when you are making plans. Now, I need you to do 2 things. First, drop a comment telling me your city. I will give you a personalised update. Second, if you found this useful, make sure you are following, because tomorrow night as forecast is going to be even more critical. There is a weather system developing right now that could change everything for the East Coast by Monday. I will have all the details, the timing, and exactly what you need to prepare. You do not want to miss that one. One more thing before you go. If you are anywhere in the northern half of Australia right now, remember February is peak wet season. The ultraviolet index during the day has been very high to extreme across most of the country. While ultraviolet is not a concern once the sun goes down, the damage from today's sun can leave you with a nasty sunburn that you will really feel tonight. Keep your fluids up, especially if you are in Darwin, Cairns or Brisbane, where the humidity is draining your body faster than you realise. And for anyone in the storm zones tonight, here is your timing checklist. Darwin, storms most likely between 8 and midnight, peaking around 10. Brisbane, thunderstorms building from 7:30, heaviest between 9 and 11, clearing after midnight. Cairns, on and off showers all evening with the heaviest bursts expected between 9 and 1 in the morning. If you are in any of these cities, charge your phone, have a torch ready, and know where your emergency kit is. These storms deserve respect, but there is no reason to panic. Just be prepared. Stay safe out there.